Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody's good. Hope you had a good weekend. We're diving back into everything fantasy football. We are only 15 Sundays away from NFL football, if you can believe it. And we're talking draft guide, baby, player profiles. This time on Jonathan Taylor, JT. And I get it. I mean, everybody doesn't know how to appropriately identify the potential value of Jonathan Taylor this year. And I'm still in, man. I've always been a JT guy. I'm going to continue down this path of being supportive in that sense. And what do we say is going to happen this year? The new look Colts, they have a lot of opportunity, a lot of weapons, and I mean, returning hopefully is Anthony Richardson to the fold, that he's going to absolutely take the league a storm and a fire. Everyone thinks he is going to do that. But let's talk about JT. Statistically speaking, it's very difficult because, I mean, over the last 4 years, I mean, he basically first 2 years in the season, and he was the best running back in the entire NFL. Just absolutely lights out. 1,169 yards, almost 1,811 yards the following season in 2021. He was just absolutely phenomenal in those first two seasons. Then the injury bug did start to hit him just a little bit, which was a little surprising. I mean, was it really surprising for a lot of people? 900 plus carries in Wisconsin back in his collegiate career. Really didn't deal with any amount of injury. One, I think, minor injury that he did have in college football, and then they absolutely rode him into the ground, man. 332 carries in 2021, and that's when the injury bug definitely hit a JT. 192 attempts last year, 2 years ago, and then 169 last year. Played in 10 and 11 games respectively, and dealt with a lot of injury. The positive aspect we're talking statistically for a Jonathan Taylor from last year, while he did what? He missed the first 4 games, played in the next 7, missed the next 3, and then finished off the year playing the final 3 contests. So, I mean, when you're looking at the boom consistency rate, even though he did finish as the running back 33, which was not conducive to high-end fantasy football tallies, 80% on the boom rate for JT was absolutely stellar in that injury season. 10 games, he only missed 2 contests, and it was the first 2 games of the season that he did play in week 5 and 6 that did preclude a boom game for him. So he's rivaling definitely top-end running back totals when it comes to the boom consistency rates, which was good. But now you're still talking 2 seasons under 1,000 yards, 2 seasons under 12 games played. It is a risk and fear for a lot of people. Statistically speaking, for these Indianapolis Colts last season, 479 attempts, over 2,000 yards, 14 TDs. So you got to believe with Anthony Richardson coming back, they should be up to, possibly run heavy once again this season. His best season in fantasy football, 53 points. He was 20 points per game and ranked as the top running back in that season in 2021. He finished with 10 top 10 finishes that season. This last year, only 4 top 10 finishes. So I understand why everybody is a little bit lukewarm on what a Jonathan Taylor could potentially be this season. When we're discussing injury risk, it is a problem. And we understand going back to 2020, he had that ankle sprain, grade 1. 2022, this is when it was the issues that he did possess with that ankle. Grade 2 ankle sprain in 2022, and then a grade 3 high ankle sprain that did preclude him from finishing a lot of his contests. Grade 3 sprain, high ankle sprain, did cause a lot of problems. He had a knee issue back in 2021, and then he dealt with that thumb injury, the torn ligament in his hand that shut him down for a little bit in 2023. So, I mean, injury risk potential this season is a little bit high. We're talking a mid-level risk to, you could almost say there is potential high-level risk given the fact that he has missed a lot of contests these past 2 seasons, only played in 21 contests out of the potential of, full workload and full seasons in the past 2 years. It is a risk. It is an issue. Was he overworked? That is the biggest question mark that we do have. Has he been overworked coming out of college? That was my biggest, marker of a, con on his scouting report. Was he overworked? 900 plus carries at Wisconsin is, a lot of a tread on the tires, and then they continue to force feed him in the NFL. So it is an issue. He did get his new contract, but this new look offense here in Indianapolis does look nice. Now we got Anthony Richardson coming back from his own injury this past year. We got Evan Hall as the running back. Tyler Goodson filled in from time to time last year. Trey Sermon as well, and then Scott on the back end of the depth here for these running backs. Anthony Richardson, 25 attempts last year, 136 and 4 touchdowns. So that's going to be a big marker for me when we're discussing Jonathan Taylor and the potential upside for TDs, where an Anthony Richardson could be a massive TD vulture for, that's going to inhibit JT to be that top-end TD producing running back that we're hoping for. Evan Hall, a lot of people on the bandwagon suggesting he could be a great fill-in back for the Indianapolis Colts. He dealt with injury last year as well. So, I mean, it is a big situation where you want to say, how good can Evan Hall be? I know there's a lot. He's an extremely hard worker, lots of effort in his game. There is no question. I mean, Goodson dropped that one pass late in the season. I mean, we'll see how he does bounce back. Trey Sermon, that big body running back as well. I don't foresee a lot of carries being, dispersed outside of Anthony Richardson and a Jonathan Taylor. Zach Moss was the fill-in running back last year, 183 attempts, 794 yards, and 5 rushing touchdowns. He is now with the Cincinnati Bengals as he replaced a Joe Mixon. But you got to believe with an Anthony Richardson, it does pose a lot of threat to take away some yards and to take away a lot of touchdowns, especially when you're talking on the potential for RPOs. Ranking a Jonathan Taylor this year for 2024 is very interesting. His ADP is running back 4 right now as we sit on the expert consensus rankings, overall number 10. So the ranks are suggesting that Jonathan Taylor is likely going to have a bounce back season. And I'm kind of in that mold as well. I do believe that JT is ready for a bounce back, had a lot of time off, and then now, hopefully he does finish the year fully healthy and he does, do the JT business that we know Jonathan Taylor can do. But when we're talking, where does he slot in on the rankings right now? Running back 3 is a Bijan Robinson, running back 5, Jahmyr Gibbs, and then a Saquon and Kyron Williams rounding it out at running back 6 and 7. So when you're talking that he's slotted in between guys like Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs, okay, you can make any kind of argument to suggest, obviously, Bijan is going to be your top choice over JT. You could even put it into the conversation that a Gibby should be picked above Jonathan Taylor, even though we do see volume upside is key with these Indianapolis Colts, with Evan Hall being really the only guy, maybe Goodson, to be, spellbacks for this running back room, and then Anthony Richardson, like I said, being the other one that's likely going to vulture touchdowns and take away some yardage. But it should be a run-heavy approach here in Indianapolis, even though they do have a lot of weapons in the pass game as well. I do think that maybe the ADP for him might be a little high for me. I would probably put him at number 5 or number 6. Saquon, especially going to the Philadelphia Eagles, who are also very run heavy, should see a lot of volume upside for Saquon. There's no question for me that Jonathan Taylor should at least be in the number 4 to number 6 category when we're talking about rankings and ADP at this moment. For the 2024 season, what are we really expecting from a Jonathan Taylor? There's not much in the room right now for running back depth. Will they add somebody? Probably not. So I do believe they're going to go with what they have in this room. They got a lot of, coach speak has been suggesting Evan Hall can be this backup running back that they want him to be. So we will see. If he does get hurt again, you got the Goodson, you got the Sermon, and then they'll probably have to go to the free agent market if someone does get hurt. So pending everything suggesting that Jonathan Taylor hopefully does not get injured, there is injury risk concern. Like I mentioned, he had these past 2 seasons only played in 21 contests. It is not promotive of picking a running back as your running back 4. It is a big problem. Anthony Richardson, like I'm saying, touchdown vulture for these TDs. A very big problem. Could absolutely inhibit the top-end touchdown productivity that we're hoping for a Jonathan Taylor. Like I said, pass game options, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, my dude. And then you got Mitchell, the rookie that came in this year from Texas. This is a very formidable trio in the wide receiver room that could absolutely remove rushing upside from this backfield. Give JT a little bit more help and assistance, that he doesn't have to be that guy. But then you got to believe that they shouldn't see much stacked boxes, especially with Anthony Richardson doing the RPOs, taking off and running when he does as well. But there is opportunity. Even if they do get inside the 5-yard line, they will try to, power through with a Jonathan Taylor, but they will be very multidimensional when it comes to the RPOs and how they do move this offense on the ground. Will Jonathan Taylor be that running back heavy volume upside guy that we have seen in the past with over 330 attempts? highly unlikely. I don't see it anymore. I think with the fact that, there's 4 years on his NFL career, the fact that he has been the workhorse back in this backfield, I think they want to curtail that a little bit. They want to keep him on the field. That he is one of the best running backs in the NFL, and he will show that once again. Will he have that bounce back season after these 2 subpar injury seasons? It is very interesting. Will it happen? I do believe, the health aside, I think that he should be able to play majority of the season outside of some freak injury. Hopefully it does not happen. Projecting his stats as we sit today, I'm going to say, okay, he plays 15 games, 240 attempts, 1,200 yards, 11 TDs. I think that's very reasonable as we sit today, especially when we're talking about him being the running back 4 on the consensus. I'm suggesting he's probably more likely for me at this point when it comes to value, running back 5, 6. And I think that's it's not a stretch to suggest that that's a bad thing for JT. You're kind of hedge betting to, risk, reward, tolerance, return on investment. 74.2% is my projected boom rate for him, which would put him in the category of finishing as a running back 5-6 based on last year's running back totals of 242.9 potential points here in 2024. So I do like Jonathan Taylor a lot this year. I think that, based on, where you could snag him in your drafts, he's going to be your running back 1. He's going to be volume upside king, and you got to believe a bounce back is coming. We have not seen in recent memory a running back who is this good fall off a cliff this fast when it comes to how many seasons he does get injured and into the medical room. So I do believe we're going to see priority of Jonathan Taylor getting some touches removed, but the efficiency rates should start to increase because of guys like Anthony Richardson and then the wide receiver room that they do possess, and potentially moving this offense down the field through the air should benefit and promote this offense that much more. But there you have it. That is Jonathan Taylor on the draft guide. I know a lot of y'all been asking, did you put it on a draft guide this year? I did not have time to do that this year, but I will get you covered with these videos. Hopefully I do cover a ton of players for y'all, as we are, like I said, only 15 Sundays away from NFL football. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. What do you think about JT? You guys in on JT? You out on JT this year? You looking for other value? Throw it in the comments. We could definitely talk it out. But we'll see you next time. I am out.